Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Crit and Crit, a bit of an experiment of ours. We are going to be combining playing video games with a bit of literary analysis. I'm Axion, and this is my co-host Scint, and welcome to our show.
So remember what we are starting with again, because we have quite a list.
Yeah. We will be discussing Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw, at your request, while I am playing Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo.
Yes, an excuse for me to go into multiple sidetracks about show tunes, because I mostly actually know Pygmalion from its Learner and Low adaptation, My Fair Lady.
And one moment, that is loud.
What else is loud? A dog going to town on her distraction treat.
All right, we're not gonna watch all this. I've played this game a million times, and I don't imagine you overly care too much about the demo opener sequence.
Well, your call.
All right, so why don't you give us a bit of a summary of the story before we begin?
I would, but you see, it's all a bit Greek to me. Or possibly Roman, depending on which version you hear, because Pygmalion, as you can probably guess from the title of the play, takes its name from classical mythology. Pygmalion being the name of a sculptor.
All right.
So maybe it's a bit fitting you picked Mega Man to go with this, because Pygmalion fell in love with a statue he sculpted named Galatea, who was then brought to life by the goddess Venus if you're talking Roman, Aphrodite if you're talking Greek.
Which, that could have connotations if you really think about it too much.
I mean, I haven't really explored many fanfiction tags for Mega Man, but I'm sure it exists.
Not what I meant, but also completely valid.
What? I didn't know where you were going with this. I was thinking the whole fall in love with your own creation situation, which is something that people mention quite a lot when it comes to My Fair Lady, ending being what it is and all. Which, kind of interesting having revisited the play a little bit, the original text for first time in quite some time.
So, I had never read this book before, but I was familiar with, or the play rather, but I was familiar with the movie version with My Fair Lady.
Thoughts?
Having now read the book, some things about the movie make more sense, and some things make less sense.
Alright, let's start with what makes more sense, because might as well start with the good.
The movie expanded on the process of what happens throughout the story. The play kind of skims over a lot of the evolution of the characters throughout the process of Higgins' experiment. The movie has several scenes where
Before we go on with that,
they're
we should probably explain for those who maybe aren't as familiar with the source material what Higgins' experiment actually is.
which
Since he did not
basically
create
means
a
we should
statue.
probably just get into the story.
Alright.
So why don't we just start from the beginning?
Alright, so basic premise is a linguistics professor, Henry Higgins, makes a bet that he can pass off a Cockney gutter snipe flower girl as a proper lady, with just some elocution lessons. Which, if you know much about the various British accents, is kind of, yeah, challenge accepted, buddy.
He also has time. He has a deadline. 6 months.
Yes.
Also boss time.
This is the part where Just You Wait Henry Higgins starts playing. Yes, the aforementioned flower girl, Eliza Doolittle, is the one who is offered the opportunity to get some speaking lessons. Which obviously she accepts or would have no plot. Oh, you are getting your butt kicked.
You're supposed to lose this fight. Yeah, you can't damage him. So, Higgins is joined by his on one part co-conspirator and on one part rival, Dr. Pickering.
Yes.
Who is a linguistics professor. He's British, but he's been in India for a while. And this is, of course, set back in when India was a British colony, all that fun stuff.
I mean, that doesn't really narrow the time frame down that much, since that's basically just any time before World War II ends.
Yeah. I'm sure the book said what time everything was.
Doesn't that matter for the purposes of our discussion? That yes, if you wish to take a colonial read on things, there is that element present in text as well. It's basically anything set in England that has any reference to anything going on in the Empire would be easy to take a post-colonial analysis to. But for now, basic plot.
Meanwhile, we start the first level.
Like I said, basic plot. Chill Penguin. Okay.
Yep.
Is it obvious I have, never played a Mega Man?
All the bosses in this game are named like that. Adjective, animal.
I thought they were all just, Power Man.
That's the basic Mega Man games. That's one of the differences between basic and Mega Man X series. Anyway.
You sit on a throne of lies, Capcom. I thought I knew how this system worked.
Trying not to get killed by the evil rabbit robots. So.
Well, you better hop to it.
You will discover, ladies and gentlemen, that Scint has two things she loves: books and puns.
I like more things than that. But we are getting off topic once again. So, plot. We have, as you're saying, Pickering.
Yes, so Pickering is another linguistics teacher. He's also, I believe, a military man, if I remember correctly.
I believe he was Colonel Pickering, at least in My Fair Lady. I'm a little bit fuzzier on Pygmalion itself.
Yeah, I don't remember in the book, since they didn't refer to him by his title very often, but I do remember it coming up.
Ah yes, here we have the creator of our artificial being. So, we could possibly say that, is that Light or Wily?
That's Light.
I knew that. Dr. Light is our Henry Higgins analog. Read into that what you will.
He's a lot less of a dick than Henry Higgins was. Because there is one line in the book, doesn't show up until late in the book, but it does show up, that pretty much puts Higgins into that sums up Higgins in a couple sentences. And it's where he says, "You complain that you've seen me be cruel to you. The question is, have you ever seen me be not so to anyone else?" And his justification seems to be, well, I'm an asshole to everybody.
Well, yeah. That's how the character sees himself. He is an expert in his field, and therefore he is hashtag better than you.
So, we kind of jumped ahead. Pickering and Higgins meet. At the same time, it's in the middle of a rainstorm. They have nowhere else they can go. They're bored. Almost jumped in a hole. They're stuck in a rainstorm, they're bored, they have nowhere to go, and there's a young woman there trying to sell them flowers because that's how she makes her living. And of course, both of these men are relatively upper class. Relatively, for the time. And are talking about this woman, about how they can turn her into a proper lady, or not, as the case may be.
Or a proper mecha, as the case may be on screen. pick him up and throw him.
Sadly, I can't do that.
Why can't the robots teach their children how to yeet?
I can do that, though.
Close enough.
Alright, we can't get up to that ledge right now. We'll be... Oh, wait. Maybe... Oh, right. We can get up there, but we can't do anything. Yeah, we'll come back here later. You were saying?
I wasn't, actually. You were saying.
Oh, right. Lost my train of thought because I almost died.
That tends to happen, yes. Now, Henry Higgins would say that's no excuse for improper grammar and elocution.
Well, that's Henry Higgins for you. They are trying to basically make a bet about this woman that's literally standing right in front of them. And she's, you know, trying to make a living, trying to get them to buy her material. And they're sitting there talking about how her language is so terrible and how Higgins is bragging about how he could turn her into a proper lady. So they end up making this bet about her, and she hears just enough of it that she decides to show up at Higgins' apartment, where Pickering is also staying at the time, the next morning with the explanation, well, you said you could turn me into a proper lady. And that, I believe, runs us out of time. So we will continue this discussion next time. Thank you for your attention thus far, ladies and gentlemen.
See ya!